morning. How is everybody today? I'm just giving everybody a quick second to get in because I was really excited on Monday through Friday. I regrettably can't get over to the parks because the parks open a little bit later. So I can't do a morning walk in the parks. Most of them open at 9. Animal Kingdom is the earliest with a 7:30 entry for anybody who's at a deluxe resort. And then it is 8 o'clock normally. So I thought today would be a good opportunity to have our morning walk through Animal Kingdom, since I have some time this morning and I was able to get out here. So before we get started, we are just doing a 45-minute walk. Be here at Animal Kingdom, as you can see. Once we get around our morning walk, I'll be trying to walk on a fast pace, but we are in a theme park today, so may not be as quick as normal. But we hope you enjoy this POV that you can use on your treadmill, your spin bike. Maybe you just want to sit and have a cup of coffee. So this morning, I should say, we are focused on training and fitness and motivation, and we get to be in this beautiful park. So with that, I'm going to get my watch going. You guys should too. Good morning. So with that, I've got my let's head on straight here, and we'll do 45 minutes around Animal Kingdom. So this morning, almost everybody heads right into Pandora to ride all of the Avatar attractions. There's almost nobody here going off to the right towards Dino Land. Maybe some people are headed towards Everest. But good morning, guys. I hope that you had a wonderful week. This morning we are going out and walking around this beautiful park in the morning. It is gorgeous weather. Hey, good morning. Good. See you later. All of the cast members are wonderful here at Animal Kingdom. It's always good to see Paul, who's a friend of the channel, been watching us for a long time. So it's been a long time since I have been to Animal Kingdom at Rope Drop. It's a park that is really peaceful to me. I enjoy just kind of walking around, enjoying the sights, the sounds, especially here early in the morning. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've been over here. Good morning, Rashad, Eddie. A salute to travel in the USA, but mostly Disney. Exclusive jewelry. Juliana, Susan, Brianna. So we'll just kind of zig and zag here to get in our 45 minutes. I have no particular path, but we'll go in some of these less traveled paths as well. Oh, well, Eddie, I'm so sorry to hear about your air quality. I hope it gets better. Oh. And a salute to travel in the USA, but mostly Disney, was just doing a Wine and Dine Challenge training run. Excellent. Yes. It's really wild to me how, you know, you register for RunDisney races so far in advance, but I will tell you that the time creeps up on you so quickly. I can't believe that it's mid-July. Before you know it, it's going to be September, October, and then Wine and Dine is just the first weekend. We'll come up here towards Dinosaur and make a little loop. Good morning, Nick and Steven. We are going to do our walk here from Disney's Animal Kingdom. I mean, it's never a bad thing to be in a park. Normally, because the parks don't open early enough, I have to do all of the walks around the resort areas or resort properties. But if you are heading to one of the parks, it is really nice to get to them before road drop. Maybe do your walk before your walk all day at the parks. I've been enjoying, although the parks have the summer crowds, I will say I haven't been overwhelmed by the amount of park guests here. I haven't yet encountered any days, I mean, other than the 4th of July in the evening, which I expected. That was pretty busy. But generally, this summer has been really nice. It's been really, really nice. Now we are heading into Dinoland over here. It's already been announced that Disney and Imagineers are looking to reimagine this whole area. The Primeval Whirl, which used to be right in front of you here, they took down about a year or so ago. And they are interested to retheme this to Zootopia, which I think is just a fabulous idea. I thought that Zootopia is an excellent selection for this park. They don't have a lot of theming in regards to Zootopia. You can see some of the Zootopia characters in some of the parades or cavalcades, but that's about it. So again, if you are watching this while you are taking your own walk, maybe you're up on the treadmill, some of your own equipment, I recommend you can listen to the chat, or a reminder, you can pop in some earbuds and listen to your own music and just enjoy the sights and sounds, well, the sights, I should say, of Animal Kingdom. We also, as a reminder, have a whole playlist of POVs that you can walk to around Walt Disney World property on the channel, and those are set to music. Those don't have any chatting or talking. So you can check those out as well. Thank you again to everybody for joining us. It's always enjoyable to walk through at rope drop, no matter which park you're at. Usually in the morning when it's rope drop, you can notice that the crowds go to usually the big exclusive places in whichever park. We'll say over at Magic Kingdom, they're probably going to run to the big e-ticket attractions like Space Mountain, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So a lot of people go back to Fantasyland to hit up Peter Pan or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Over at Animal Kingdom, where we're at, almost everybody exclusively goes over to Pandora to go on the Avatar attractions before it gets busy. And that's why there's almost no one in here. So the park just opened only 12 minutes ago. There is almost nobody in here quite yet, but give it about half an hour, 45 minutes, and it will be buzzing with people. Animal Kingdom, I read, is about 500 acres worth of land. That is a very big park. That includes all of the common areas that you see here, plus the safari area, which is a pretty big piece of land for all of those animals. Also, a fun fact, Animal Kingdom has the largest herd of Nile hippos, and I believe it was African elephants. They have a huge conservation program, and Disney puts a lot of time and energy and effort into their animal care program, not just here at this park, but any of the animals that relate to the Walt Disney World's property here. So if there is somebody, you know, an animal that maybe they find injured, it could be something as simple as a bunny rabbit. Maybe they come across something at Epcot, or a duck, or a bird. That all comes to Animal Care, Animal Kingdom, and they work with those animals here. So any animals that they find here on Walt Disney World property, not just the one they have in captivity that they're in their care. The monkeys are out in full force this morning. They are having a great morning. Good morning, Lorraine and Joanne. Speaking of the safari, that is probably another attraction that at rope drop at this time, many of the people who are here first thing, they head right over to the safari or Avatar. So we haven't gotten to the areas where most people are hanging out right now. There was quite a long line actually for security this morning, and at the ticket turnstiles. You know, they're not turnstiles anymore. You use your ticket or your magic band, but front gate. So plenty of people coming in, but compared to this huge expansive park, you won't see it really noticeable for at least another half hour to an hour. Same thing like I was mentioning, Hollywood Studios, everybody flocks to Galaxy's Edge. Doug and Denise, hello, good morning. I was really bummed because I was so tired. We stayed out pretty late streaming on Thursday night, and I didn't get home till after 11:30, you know, by the time you kind of get yourself together and organize yourself after getting home in a late night. It was like 12:30. So I just could not stream. I absolutely made sure I got my training and my workouts in on Friday. They were later in the day. One was on my lunch break. But on my lunch break, you know, I don't have time to drive over to Disney, although it is very close. I don't have time on my lunch break to drive down to Disney, do 45 minutes, and then drive back. So it is what it is. I had to cancel Friday morning. I absolutely made sure that I was able to take care of both my 45-minute workouts. They just weren't on camera. And I thought, since I couldn't accommodate that, it would be really fun since Adam's home this morning, to come out to Animal Kingdom and do a live walk for 45 minutes. That would be perfect for our collection of POVs and training videos for Run Disney. Honestly, the key to have moments like this where it's very, very quiet is to come immediately right, make sure you're one of the first ones in at rope drop. And then the crowds are very low. Speaking of Run Disney, a lot of people ask, and the parks, I should say, that is a question that gets asked quite often, is, do you run through the parks? So they do change the course each and every race. It's usually modified just slightly. But if you are doing a 5K, any 5K, for any of the Run Disney weekends. See, here's all the crowds. They're going right into the safari. So it's only a 10-minute wait right now. Yep. We're going against the huge crowd that's just streaming into the safari. Our pro tip is you can go on the safari first thing in the morning like this, like really super early. But going within the last hour of the evening, whenever they close, is an excellent time. During the day is tough. You don't see as many animals because they are usually really hot with this weather that we have here in the summertime. Well, most of the year, you know, it's pushing 90 degrees. So if you are coming to Animal Kingdom, either make it the first thing you do and do it before 9:30 in the morning, or try to make it one of the last things you do, and you'll have almost no wait. Otherwise, during the middle of the day, you don't see as much and you wait in a longer line. Okay, back to my thoughts about Run Disney and the parks. So since we're in the parks today, I'll talk a little bit more about how Run Disney relates to their 4 major parks and what you can expect. The 5K, no matter which weekend it is, it could be Wine and Dine, it could be Marathon Weekend, Princess Weekend, or Springtime Surprise, will always be in Epcot. Traditionally, 9 times out of 10, the finish lines and the start lines are at Epcot. There have been years where they shift that around, and I'll talk about that in a second. But 5Ks, that's 3.1 miles, or the 10K, which is 6.2 miles, is exclusively almost at Epcot. There have been occasions where they have specific themes. They one time had I think it was called Jingle Jungle 5K. And that was part of the Wine and Dine weekend. That was probably about 5 years ago or so. And they did a 5K here in Animal Kingdom. But if they don't explicitly ahead of time note that, hey, this race is particularly at this location, just assume it's going to be at Epcot. The 10K, same thing. The 10K they have at Epcot exclusively as well. It is uncommon for them to have the 10K in any other location because they can manage Epcot as far as a race goes and facilities. And what they need is more than often stored over at Epcot. And they can do the start and the finish, and they can contain it all to one location. Now, when you get into the longer races, the half marathon courses are the courses that most people who have been doing Run Disney for a long time eagerly await, because those do fluctuate. Same with the Walt Disney World full 26.2 marathon. They change those courses slightly every so often, and make decisions based upon construction. Maybe they have a particular theme and they want the course to go through a certain area, or they have a land. I'm thinking Galaxy's Edge, when it is newer to many people still, even though we're a few years in. People get real excited and want to run through Galaxy's Edge. So depending on those types of themes and what they're going for, you may have the course change just a little bit. So that's where, if you are running one of the longer distances for Run Disney, you're just gonna have to wait like everybody else to see what the course is. We'll make a quick little U-E here. And the half marathons, same thing. They either start in one of two places. They have either started at Magic Kingdom, they have you park at Epcot and shuttle you over to a start line that's at Magic Kingdom. They've done that for different races, for different reasons, depending on, again, theming. And more than often than not, they have you start and end at Epcot for most half marathons and the full 26.2 marathon. The full marathon will always start at Epcot. I know maybe in the early years, 20 years ago, they had it start at Magic Kingdom, but now they just can't house everybody in such a small parking lot. Epcot has wide, expansive space to not only hold the cars, but the people that are there, the spectators, the finish line, the start line. And the finish line is different than the start. So they have a lot of space that they need for those races. Open plumbing, that is a great joke. Oh, Donna, stay safe from that tornado, okay? Make sure you take shelter. I'll be thinking of you. Yep, definitely a little more congested here in Pandora, but for good reason. It is highly recommended. Go ahead and do Pandora first, especially if you are rope dropping. That will help save you a lot of time, because those are the rides here at Animal Kingdom that take the longest amount of time. New Dad 2013. Hi Taylor, good to see you. Thank you for watching. If you guys are just joining and new to the channel, my name is Kristen. I usually stream with my husband Adam. We are doing a new series, seeing how it goes, how people like it. Adam and I are Run Disney enthusiasts. We love it. We go out for a lot of Run Disney weekends in one shape or form. Usually we're running each weekend, but this year we did something a little different. we took off Princess Weekend and we just live streamed from a couple of places and points in the race, and we had so much fun doing that. So we train year round, and I've been doing Run Disney for, wow, most definitely more than 10 years now, about 10 years. And Adam's been doing Run Disney about 4 or 5 consistently. So we used to come out to Disney property and just simply record one of these walk POVs that you can use for many purposes. Maybe you just want to hang out, maybe you want to see the sights. But since we started training again and following our 75 hard challenge, we thought, we're out anyway, why don't we just do these videos live instead of recording them and editing them? And that way people can choose. We can chat through it, talk a lot about motivation through these walks and runs. Kind of take it as a moment to be uplifting. So here we are back at the front of the park. We'll make another loop here. It's perfect because we are just perfectly at our midway point. So if you are walking and running, you are at your halfway point. So if you're doing an out and back, please go ahead. You can turn around at this point. You're about halfway in the 45 minutes. Thank you guys for joining again. We hope this week that you've had a great week and are excited for the week ahead. We have been working to train for the upcoming Wine and Dine race, which is the first week of November. But just like a lot of you guys, sometimes life can get really challenging. You know, it's hard. It's hard to keep maintaining. I'm a little nervous, you know, moving into talking about motivation and keeping going. So we're doing the 75 hard challenge where you have to do a number of tasks each day, including 2 workouts, drinking a gallon of water. And this week, actually early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., I have to fly out for business to Utah. So I'm really nervous because I'm gonna have to continue all my tasks, but I'm gonna have to work them into travel. I'm gonna have to work them into being away from home and my work schedule while I'm away and in another state. So that reminds me, if you are a follower of all of the run walk videos, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to stream on Wednesday because I will be in Utah, which is 2 hours behind. Which is not a big deal, but I also have to get to my work efforts while I'm out there. So I'm just not sure if we're going to be able to, I'm going to get to all of that. We'll see. I did find that my hotel, there's a nice, I'm going out to Salt Lake City, and there is, if you haven't been out there, the mountains border the city and the Great Salt Lake, and it is absolutely beautiful. I did see that I did some research because I want to make sure I'm dedicated, I know what I'm getting into. Every day, one workout has to be outside. So I did a little bit of research and I found that there's a trail next to the hotel where I'm going to be at. So that's excellent news. But I'm a little nervous about it. I think I'm gonna do my hardest to continue on with all the training and make sure I get everything done every day. But it's going to be difficult because when you're not home or in the place where you normally are and you're out of your comfort level, your comfort zone, it makes kind of your thoughts waver. You know, can I do this? I don't know. Maybe I should just skip it. I don't need to. And that's the rut that I get into a lot. Well, trying to tell myself, no, it's okay, I won't. Or, you know, it makes me uncomfortable that it's really hot outside. Or it was raining. I was impressed. My 16-year-old son is also participating. And he went out and he was like, nope, Mom, I have to get my workout in. It was pouring rain. And he did it anyway. And he said, nope, I have to get this done. It's part of the challenge and it's raining. There's nothing I can do. I'm going to go out and do he did maybe a walk or a run. I don't know which it was, but he went out anyway. And I was really impressed. I haven't had any situations yet where I've had to get into adverse weather because maybe it's getting late or maybe I'm pressed for time. But that was impressive. I think when we are doing our training, that is something that can hold people back in life, is that uncomfortable feeling. And I know as I've taken time to read some of these motivational books, yes, Fred, don't worry, I will be just fine. I will be just fine out there. So, no, I'm not going into any secluded areas. Don't worry. Don't worry at all. And yes, I have coworkers that are also traveling, so don't worry about me. I know how serious safety is when you are running, especially if you're by yourself. So, you know, when you are training or you're trying to progress or start something new, or if you're trying to get better at something, that has always been a downfall or a tough spot for many people, including myself. It's really easy to say, okay, well, I'm just gonna walk. I know I can walk 3 miles or 1 mile. We'll just say 1 mile. And I can do that. So that's what I'm going to do today. And there's always lots of questions about, well, how do I get better? How do I get to improve? Well, the answer is being uncomfortable. As much as I hate it, as much as you hate it. Oh, wow, this is a big group. This is a big group. And they're still coming. See, I even gave you a parade. I'm just kidding. Being uncomfortable is what gets you to where you want to go. In my training, I know I get very lax, and I'll say, you know what, this is the pace that I run at. I'm just fine. You know, maybe I will have I'll walk a little, I'll run a little, I'll walk a little, I'll run a little. And that's great because I know exactly what to do. I know how I'm going to feel. I know what's going to happen. And everything is what I want it to be. But I also know I'm never going to improve or get my time better or where I want it to be if I don't try to push a little bit harder. You know, maybe instead of walking the whole time, maybe take a few moments where you just lightly jog. Okay, from here until that sign over there, I'm just gonna lightly jog. I am in a theme park. I cannot jog or run right now, but I'm walking a pretty good pace. Again, like right around 17 minutes per mile. I don't want to walk too fast again, being in a park. Safety first. Safety first. But I think that uncomfortable feeling and saying, well, I'm going to be out of breath because I'm pushing to just do a little bit extra, a little bit more. That's the moments where you can, you know, really gain. Hi, Paul. That's where you start improving and you say, well, I was able to run a little bit in my, yesterday. I wonder if I could run a little bit more today. But it's that uncomfortable feeling of, oh, maybe I'm a little extra out of breath because of that. But that's all part of your training. And I think in everything I do, I try to relate it to my life and not just running or fitness, because it could be in my work, it could be in regards to the channel. I absolutely could sit back as it relates to the channel, we'll say that, and just say, I know every other content creator, they go and they do this. Or when they're out at the parks, they stream that. Or I know this is safe. I know if I just keep it to these areas and I, because I know the signal is good for live streaming purposes, then everything will be great. But if we did that, if I said, or sometimes we take a little flack. Not everybody in your life and not everybody, especially on social media, is kind. It is what it is. And if we kind of try to live by this, whether it's in our training or the channel, is to step out of our comfort zone and try things that are different. Try things that are hard and give it a shot, because you never know what the result could be. When you try and you try to go outside your comfort zone and say, this is the time, I'm going to give it a whirl, my best effort, and maybe it's just one little extra step or it's one little piece of my day that I want to improve or try something different. In the end, it could absolutely be a huge difference in your day. It could be a huge difference to improving in maybe your biking, your swimming, your running. It's those little changes that add up and help you. Hey, good morning. Those little differences, and you're out of your comfort zone, that help you push to do something better and better and better each day. With that said, it's a Sunday morning, and I was not excited to get up early. Normally on Sundays, Adam and I are a little bit lazier. We use it our day to sleep in, do our workouts a little bit later. But I really wanted an opportunity to kind of get things done, set my day off on the right foot. Move up a little bit here. Set my day off on the right foot, and I get my workout done earlier than normal, so I have an opportunity to do other things and have a little bit more time with the kids this afternoon playing before we go out and go streaming. So just my food for thought about having opportunities where you say, you know what, I'm going to make a little bit of difference. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to do something different and make a change that can improve things. So that's my motivational thought for today. The change is in the little things. I've learned that so much time and time again. And that's why the 75 Hard Challenge was so important to me, because I know that I have to start somewhere, and I have to start small, and it starts by just getting into routine habits. Because I was out of habit. I was not practicing what I preach. I did not. Oh, there's a huge hawk up there. Sorry the camera didn't capture it. If you saw those people kind of looking up and staring and pointing. Huge bird hawk up there. Good morning, Melissa. Fred, do I eat something before I run? I do not. So if I am doing a long run that's over 10 miles, I have to have some sort of energy gel, and I might have a piece of wheat toast if I'm doing a long run. But anything that's maybe 8 miles or less in the morning, I'll just go out and do it. And it also depends on the weather. That has taken me some time to perfect what kind of energy my body needs. And Adam too. Because runners don't typically go out there and just run 13 miles with nothing in your belly or nutrition of some sorts. That is a recipe for disaster. So, depending on the time of day you're running, you'll have to play with that a little bit. So the nutrition that I need is different than the nutrition that Adam needs. I'm sure there's many articles that break it down somewhere. But in a long run, if I'm going to do a half marathon, I usually they have little packets of energy gel. I'll probably take one about 6 or 8 miles, and then another one towards the end, like 10 miles. And if the weather is really bad, as in hot and humid, I'll drink water, but I'll also add in, I have some like individual type energy packets that I put into water. So it's like, the best thing I can relate it to is if those like Crystal Light packets in the grocery store, like the powder packets that you can put into your bottles of water. So I have some of those to help give me some energy in my water if I need that. So I have some things like that as well. So it really depends on the weather, the time of day, and how long I'm running. So Adam is a bit different. Although I don't like it, Adam from the very beginning trained with very little water and very little energy packets. I still think to this day he takes in less than he should, and it makes me a little nervous. But when you are training for any kind of long run, that is part of your training. That's a really great point to make. To not just run and say, okay, well, I physically finished a certain distance that I want to get to, but the food that you take before, the food that you take after, and anything that you might consume during while you're running is a really big deal. There are many people who they train, and over at RunDisney, when you have a longer race, like a marathon, mainly like the marathon. The half marathon has some too, but they give out little packets of energy, and it just depends on what the sponsor is. So the last couple of years, they've had sports beans. You can look them up. They're like jelly beans, but they're like energy beans, and they're a sponsor of the races. So they give those out on the course, and they tell you which mile so you can adequately prepare, because you don't want to. There's a lot of people that will say to themselves, hey, I'm at mile 6, but I know that they're going to give out the free sports beans at mile 9 or 10. So they time it based upon what Disney publishes. Now, there's some caveats, because that's all, again, all part of your training. There are people who will say, yeah, in my training, these are free. I'll take them and eat them. Well, that sounds wonderful in theory, but when you are out running a long distance, that is not the time to try something new. Absolutely not. Please take those words of advice from the many people who have had some difficulty with that. But I have a sensitive stomach, not just in my daily life is fine. Like if I'm just out kind of and about, I'm not sensitive to foods, but in running, we're gonna pop around here. I can't just go in the middle of a race when my stomach is very sensitive to all of the calorie burning and the energy that I'm exerting. I just can't go and take whatever thing that somebody offers me. So please go ahead. There's different things on the market. You can have like gummies. You can have, there's like gel packets, like I mentioned. There's beans, energy, like jelly beans. So there's a lot of things. There's some people who in a marathon, sometimes you carry more of a snack, like a salty snack, like small little pretzels. Just a little bit of small pretzels. So you want to go ahead and try what works for you based on the distance. Do a little research on it, and when you're in your training runs, you can determine and via variety what's most helpful, what's not helpful. So we are just at 45 minutes right now. It has been a wonderful walk around Animal Kingdom with you guys. Steve's getting married on August 6th. Congratulations! This is the end of our 45-minute training walk here at Animal Kingdom. I'll turn around, give a last look at the tree here. Don't forget, Adam and I are live every Sunday night, including tonight. And you'll want to hit that subscribe button, because we often do. We'll say goodbye to Pluto. It has been a wonderful walk with you guys this morning over here at Animal Kingdom. I wish you guys all much success and positivity in your training, in your day, in your week ahead. And just remember, I am cheering for you. Adam is cheering for you. Everybody in this chat is cheering for you as well. And I can't wait to see you guys all very soon. Have a great day.